Yo, I'm Adam, so I'm an apprentice electrician, or was, soon to be running my own business. Still going to be working alongside Nick, which you'll all know me from his channel. Still going to be working with him 3 days a week, but my plan is to go as a sole trader, subby back to him 3 days a week to keep the consistent work, build up some of my own work, experience some different things, so subby to different people to do solar, to do some EV chargers, to do some commercial work, to do some industrial work, to do all different types of work. So first off, I'll be looking at doing loads of different varieties of work. So if there's anyone, I'm based Midlands area or anywhere like that would like to help me on that journey, then drop us a DM. But what I'm going to be running through today is what I have been looking at. So let's get on this slide here. So I've got loads of tabs open here on my computer, and I'm going to run you through what I have deemed necessary for setting up as a sole trader. So straight away, obviously, you've got to abide by the government guidelines regarding setting up a business, so sole trader. Yeah, so you've got to abide by the government regarding your accountants, books, all sorts of things for that. So I've been reading up on this, how you actually do the process of setting up, which is pretty simple to be fair. So that's that. I've had a good read of that, and it says about how you do the tax years, how you do your self-assessment. It gives you a bit of basics, but obviously when you speak to an accountant, they'll run you through what the crack is really. And obviously we all know using like Tradeify, your Zero, your Sage, the QuickBooks. There's loads of different things you can do which make speeding up that process quicker. You ain't got to do it the old way of probably how Nick, when he first started, was just writing it all down on pen and paper, loads of bits of paper everywhere, loads of books. So none of that anymore. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So I've got a list here. I printed it off. So there's about 15 things on here, and there is a total amount of all this stuff here of what I deem, I'd say, probably necessary to start the business of the level I want to start it at. Obviously, you can start at pretty much nothing and build it up. However, I've got a bit of money behind me because I've been saving since day dot I started work. So I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to put my money into it, and fingers crossed, in a few years' time, you'll see me in a Lambo. No, I'm joking. But yeah, so first of all, every day, how are you going to get 10 jobs? So vans. Been looking at these type of vans. I've opted for around that price range, 10 to 15 grand I've been looking at, because I'm selling my car. Long story short, I still want to be using it like personal use as well. So, and I'm selling my car, so I've got a bit more capital behind me. So I'm looking at something like this, a long wheelbase Connect. So that's what's on the agenda for vehicles. So that's the first point. Based, obviously there's loads of different variables depending on what type of work you are, what trader you are. If you're a bricklayer, you might just need a little tiny van, not a long wheelbase one, because you literally just got a bucket and a trowel. Whereas if you're a roofer or a builder and you're putting loads of bags of sand and stuff like that in the back, then you're going to need a big van, or you might need a tipper van. So different price ranges or different equipment, what you're going to need. Right, number two, insurance for that matter. So because of my age, I'm 20 years old, so this is a bit of background of me. 20-year-old, just passed all my qualifications for being an electrician. I'm going to do 2391 and a few other additional qualifications. Yes, I'm going to get a few more ticks by my name as such to make my qualifications become more vast whilst I'm at the young age, fresh out of college. I'd rather get them done rather than in 5 years' time go back to college and rethink of like all the health and safety aspects and all those little things you might slip, like you might forget to a touch, do you know what I mean? You won't have to relearn it, whereas now it's like fresh in the mind. So there's a few different things I'm going to do. However, yeah, I'm 20-year-old, recently passed all my tests, and that leads me on to the insurance. So because I'm 20, I've got about 3 years no claims. We're looking at about £2,000 for the year. So it's expensive, but it's a necessity, and I'm not going to on my push bike every day to work with all my tools. So I'm going to need one. That's insurance for your vehicles. Now we're moving on to the insurances which you are required for running a business. So worst case scenario, I install something and it burns someone's house down. You're going to need your public liability insurance, your public indemnity insurance. There's all sorts of insurances. But believe it or not, Rhino have hooked me up. So as you all know, these two good looking guys here, Nick Bundy and me, work with Rhino. We have since day dot. Really cool guys, and Nick's got a discount code Bundy10. So if you go on there, check that out. They'll sort out all of your public liability. Well, let's show you guys. So tradesman insurance, products. So we've got employer's liability, professional indemnity, tool insurance, and gadget insurance, van insurance, income protection, tax inquiry, legal expenses. There's loads on there. However, what I've opted for, so is the basics as such, because I'm only just getting started. You can increase that package anytime. So I think it's 2.5 million public liability. I'll put a photo on now of what I've got. However, once I get my van, which is going to be very soon, I'm going to opt into tool insurance, obviously to protect all my tools, because we know van theft and tool theft is a massive matter in the UK. So you want to protect all them tools, and say I spend £5 on tools, wake up tomorrow and they're all gone. Like, I'm not just going to pull £5 out of nowhere, am I? Do you know what I mean? So you get this a necessity really in my eyes. And then another thing is gadget insurance. I'm filming off my phone here, probably about £1,000 phone. Computer here, £1,000 computer. Or say a laptop or your iPad you're going to take to work to do your certs. All them things. On a building site, we know things get smashed easily, so you need that gadget insurance. So that's another thing I'm going to look at, gadget insurance and tool insurance for when I start buying all that through my business as such. So that is definitely a must. So go and check Rhino out, because they have actually hooked me up and give me my public liability, professional indemnity and personal accident cover for free as such, because obviously we work with them and we can promote their business. So cheers Rhino, cheers Troy. So moving on to the next one, business related again. So you got your business bank accounts. So I've been watching loads of videos on just general business and life hacks. So everyone's saying obviously your business account you want to keep separate to your personal income, because obviously you need to sole trader, you got your business. So say I give you an invoice of £100. I'll look at it like that. So straight away out of that, you got your deduction materials and all that jazz. But say I've already done all that, so I've got £100 what I've been transferred. Straight away, obviously your tax, your national insurance, all that pretty much comes to a third, I believe. So 33.3% as such. Straight away, I'm going to do it. So that goes just straight into a different bank account. I can touch, but you know, like a separate one. So then that's throughout the year stacks up, and I've got that money behind me to pay the tax man at the end of each tax year. I think that's the best way to do it, because you're not getting stung, or you're not coming to the 1st of April or whatever it is, and then you're like, oh, I need 10 grand, where's that going to come from? Do you know what I mean? So that's that. And then obviously the other money, obviously budgeting as such. I'm fairly money savvy as it is, like saving as such. So I've been brought up well with that. But I'll do another video based on money and saving related, because I think a few of you apprentices messaged me about how do you save up for tools and stuff like that, and I'd like to give you an insight of how everyone thinks about money differently, and I'll give you an insight of how I think about it. But anyway, I'm sidetracking. So yeah, business bank accounts, there's loads of different ones to choose for, but believe it or not, I'll touch on this further on, but contacts. So we actually work for someone who works for Monzo Banking, and he says about business banking and stuff, so I'm thinking I'm going to have a word with him and see what he can do for me and advise me. So, and then accountants as such, so you're going to need an accountant to do all the nitty gritty number crunching, which I am not a number cruncher. I'm fairly alright at it, but not for HMRC government guidelines. So yeah, get an accountant, probably costs you about £300 to £500 a year, as long as you do all the paperwork behind it as such. Jimbo and Corey did actually send me this spreadsheet document where you can put it all in. Yeah, so I'll put that in the link below so you can check that out. That's a good little Excel document thing. Right, moving on to the next one. Nape it, or nap it, however you want to call it. I think it's nape it. But basically, so this, you don't technically need this. You can just register with your council or such, your local council, to sign off your work domestically, I believe. But then you have to pay a lot more per certificate you sign or require. So if you go with Nape it or NIC, as everyone knows, you have to pay a yearly fee of around 520 plus VAT. So what's that? What, 520 plus, what's that, 104, something like that. So yeah, that a year as a yearly fee. Oh no, it said the renewal fee's a bit less, but yeah, so you got to sign up for Nape it for that, or so that's CPS, I think that's domestic, or there is as well EAS, so that's regarding the commercial side. It says from those prices. However, Nick's going to help me with this kind of thing, because he's obviously done this for years, so he can help me set this up. And once I know a bit more, I'll help you guys set this up. But it seems fairly straightforward. You just got to show off your certificates, then they'll come out for the day, half a day assessment. Pretty much prove that you're not going to burn someone's house down, and you know how to test, you know how to sign the certificates off, you are competent as such. So pretty much all the checks you've already done, but they do it again because it's covering their back, which I totally understand. So yeah, that's Napit. Before I move on to tools and some other things which everyone likes to see, and you could spend £1 million or you could spend about £500. It depends on how much you want to spend and what brands you like. I will just briefly mention, so what we're currently looking on, a website. So marketing, your social media, your website, your business, how people get to know about you, how people get to contact you, your phones and such. So that's another expense. You got your phones, your laptops, stuff like that. How you run in the business, so a bit of the admin side. But social media and stuff like that, get on it, it's free. Just start advertising, do you know what I mean? So obviously I've already built a following on YouTube, I've got a following on Instagram, stuff like that, and I've just created a Facebook page, so I'm going to start linking that with my Instagram because they're owned by the same company. So yeah, there's a few different things I want to start doing, and then websites, I do need to set up a website and set up a domain and all that jazz, which it's going to be fun, but I'm putting that off at the minute because I need to walk before I can run, do you know what I mean? So I'm starting it, but let's move on to some interesting stuff. Moving on to tools. Yes, I think I'm going to the dark side. Milwaukee. So, as we all know, Nick uses Bosch tools. However, I've got nothing wrong with Bosch. I like Bosch tools. However, I don't know, it's just a thing of the pack out. I really do like the pack out stuff. I think Nick likes it as well. He's bought some recently and he bought me some pack out. So, cheers, Nick, if you're watching this. And all the tools Nick's bought me, very grateful, or anyone's ever given me. It's such a massive thing, and I'd like to thank all the companies that send me stuff, or any future companies that are planning on working with me or sending me tools or anything like that, because people have said they've watched me come from like a shy lad as such to now sitting here in my bedroom talking about it and showing me how I'm going to start my business. Like, it's still pretty mad for me, but it's probably even madder for you guys watching it. Do you know what I mean? So Milwaukee, I've been looking and I think I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go on like these, I think this is on Power Tool, mate. So this big bundle here as such, where you get like a combi, impact, jigsaw, SDS grinder, multi-tool, a couple batteries, and a little torch. But I don't really need a torch. Obviously, I've got all the uni lights. I'm going to go Milwaukee, I think. So that's that. So any companies out there that want to work with me, hit me up because I want some Milwaukee stuff. Loads of people be shouting now, thinking I just want to get loads of free stuff. To a degree, but then also I want to work with different companies and meet different faces and stuff like that. It's not just I want loads of free stuff. I want to just experience different things in life. Like, I don't know, like all these events and stuff you see people going to, like, it just looks like good fun meeting other people and stuff like that. I'm not bothered about money or anything like that. I just like having a good time and enjoying life. That's what everyone likes to do. But yeah, regarding Milwaukee stuff, yeah, it's going to get pricey when I start buying loads of tools and stuff like that, but they're good, all power tools now. As long as you get a good brand like gross, DeWalt, Milwaukee, I'm not even going to say Makita, yeah, or Bosch, you're going to get good tools and they're going to last. So that's that. We've touched on website building, so you got all the different companies like Squarespace, Wix, all that jazz. So it's not too hard to make your website nowadays. Moving on to your certificates. So what I was talking about Napit, how you sign each certificate off. So Nick uses this on his iPad. It's called TieSoft. It's called EasyCert, but TieSoft, the people who engineer it as such. So what I'm going to look at doing is, I think I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to get a laptop, because currently I've got a gaming PC here, which is brilliant. However, you can't pick it up and bring that on site. So I'm going to get a laptop as such. Don't think we're going to go Mac, just the laptop. A fairly good one though, so then if I need to, say I'm traveling around filming videos or anything like that, I can edit my videos on it. Edit my videos, or I can do my certificates on jobs, on site. Do you know what I mean? Because you can just mobile hotspot your phone to your laptop nowadays. So I think I'm going to kill two birds with one stone with that and go with EasyCert for the certification app as such, because that's what I'm used to. So that's that. And then moving on to, some people would argue this, that you don't need to this, and some people would say, yes, it's a necessity for basic items, which I believe it is. So as we all know, we use Expert Electrical if we are Nick's advanced, so like some rewires, most rewires, Nick will speak to Expert and say, look, I've got this rewire coming up. I need this, and most of the time, because he films it and he promotes it, they'll actually send stuff out and then, or give him a heavily discounted price on that materials, because obviously he's promoting the company and then promoting the products. But what I'm planning on doing is stocking the van to a degree. Do you know what I mean? Like your basics. So a drummer 2.5, a drummer 1.5. Because as soon as I get my van, there's nothing in it. I've got to get a drummer 2.5, drummer 1.5, some Wagos, some Wago boxes, a box of screws, a box of pendants, box of double sockets. So when I don't know, my neighbour or someone says, "Oh, can you just change my double socket for me? It's cracked." I ain't got to go to the shop. Do you know what I mean? So I've got a stock of basic items, and I've been looking for around £300 to £500. I'd say is your basics, probably closer to £500 if you're including the cable prices. So yeah, there's loads of different things I'm looking at doing, and I'm kind of overthinking it to a degree, over-engineering what I really need, which is good in a way, but bad in a way for price as such. Another thing I will add is ultimately going self-employed, like a sole trader. You need to be confident and you need to have the qualifications. So obviously passed all your qualifications to be an electrician as such, which we all know I have. I've got my gold card, it's in my wallet. I don't have my wallet, but yeah, so I've got that now. I'm confident. I'd say I'm fairly confident, like really confident on most things domestically. Commercial wise, I'll happily admit I'm not confident on the majority of things. Glanding your armoured or glanding into an isolator, making off your basic isolators, yeah. However, some big contactors and stuff like, if there's a wiring diagram, obviously I can follow it all and I can work it out. I'm fairly good at that. However, your big things, say your fault finding on big commercial stuff, I've never done it, so I'm not confident at all in it. I know the basics, but I'm not confident at all. So that's the type, how at the start of the video I was saying I want to get some more experience in stuff like that. But you've got to be confident, qualified, passionate about it as well, and you've got to strive to succeed, I believe. When starting a business, that's what everyone said to me, like, I'm at home, I've got nothing to lose. Obviously, I'm putting a lot of money into it, and I'm spending a lot of time filming it as well, but I think no one I know has done this as such. Yes, not really other tradies, but other things as such. Say, if you YouTube how I set up my sole trader business for a cake, selling cakes or whatever, yeah, there's stuff like that, but there isn't really like a tradie one, I don't think. So I'm documenting my journey, what I have from an apprenticeship to now, all the way through my apprenticeship, completing that, to doing extra qualifications, which I'm looking at now, setting up a business, running a business. And I say how it is, like day in, day out. I'm not going to like tell lies or nothing. I'll just keep it 100 real. I'll just say exactly how it is, which I think that's why I've gained such a following from Nick's channel, and me and Nick have gained such a following, because we just say how it is at the end of the day. You've got nothing to lose, and people see that you're genuine rather than like white lies as such, which some people pursue that around social media, which 90% of the time I'd say is not. Some things, yeah, you can tell, like you look at certain things, you think, well, that's a load of rubbish. But regarding money, so in total, I believe this is going to set me back. Obviously, there's certain aspects I've not paid for. I know Rhino, they do the Rhino tubes. They started doing van racking, which is really cool. Roof racks, all that jazz. There's a few other companies as well, like Rhino I'm working with, and that who have helped me set up as such. So I'm very grateful for all them companies. If any other future companies that are watching this, just drop us a DM or anything, get in touch. And if I think we're suitable to work together, then obviously we could work together in the future. But regarding money-wise, I reckon it's still going to set me back. I reckon 20 grand, just over 20 grand. That's obviously the big outlier is the van as such. But like I said before, it's not just for business use. I'm using it for personal use as well, and I'm chopping my car in. So it's a 50-50 one. But yeah, it's a lot of money. However, I've been sensible, saved all my money up, and yeah, like I've already made some sacrifices this year, like not going abroad as such, and other things. So I'm just investing all my time and money into this business. So any tips, tricks, help, advice, companies out there to help me along the way on stupid things like just advice or anything like that, it's all appreciated. Right then, so I think you've heard me enough for today, blabbing on about starting a business, what I'm going to need, all that jazz, and how much it's going to cost. However, I will just reiterate, I'm very grateful to Nick for taking me on as an apprentice, showing me the ropes as such. I'm still going to be, I'm going to get loads of comments saying I'm ditching Nick, I've come qualified, I've ran away. I'm not. Me and Nick have always said we're going to work together all, like, forever as such. I'm staying with him 3 days a week. Do you know what I mean? It's just I'm subbing because I always get asked to do my own little jobs. And it's one of them, when I get that feeling when I've done something for, like, my nan or something, put an outdoor socket on. As stupid as it sounds, when you look like you've done it yourself and you've been to the shop, bought the materials, you walk away from that just with, like, a smile on your face, really. It's just a happy feeling as such. So that's what I strive for in my business, just to be happy, really. So once again, thanks to everyone that's helped me, and don't forget to like and subscribe because, yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye.